Why are gangsters hanging out? You know what this sounds like to me?
What?
It sounds like a setup.
Uh-oh.
It smells fishy.
Ooh.
Ew.
Sounds like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
You just made that title up.
Yeah, that's not a real thing.
Sounds too
That's
cool,
a Hallmark
right?
massacre.
That is really good. No, that's...
It's a really heartfelt massacre, and it's very pointed.
On the morning of Thursday, February 14th.
A Thursday.
It was a Thursday. 10:30 a.m.
Weird shit doesn't normally happen on Thursdays.
No, it's a really boring day.
Yeah. It's either an early week or a weekend thing. Thursday's
I feel like Thursday is my weird day. Most of my weird shit happens on Thursdays.
Thursday was Valentine's Day in 2019.
I think it was, yeah.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, my God.
1929? What is that?
90.
90. This is the 90th year. The last Valentine's Day was the 90th anniversary of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where 7 men, not just 4 or 3 and abroad, were murdered at the North Clark Street, Chicago parking lot in Lincoln Park. The men were shot using weapons, obviously, pistols, and also included 2 Thompson submachine guns, which points if anyone can give me the kind of nickname, the colloquial nickname of the Thompson submachine gun during Prohibition era Chicago.
The Bobby gun.
Tommy gun.
Well, no, Tommy gun is, yeah. Okay, so what's the other one?
The Johnny gun.
The Chicago typewriter.
There he is.
Ooh, Chicago typewriter.
Chicago typewriter.
Yeah, I got that on Res Evil 4. I have the Chicago typewriter, and nothing can stand out to it. You just want everything dead, everything dead. It's so much fun.
I miss out on a lot of information not playing video games.
Right? Mad Max Kaz has Tommy guns. I'm just telling you. That's like when I picture myself in like a post-apocalyptic situation.
I'm so glad you do that.
I am bandoliers, Tommy guns. I don't know why.
Do you have the weird guy with the mask strapped to the front of your car?
No,
you don't have that guy? Or do you have the guy
honestly,
with the chain
I'm like,
behind
No,
you?
he's not a freak.
It's just Mad Max Kaz.
I'm like a walker too. I'm like, I don't even have a car in this reality. Like, I'm kind of ambling along down the side. Like, no one's really even fighting me. I just have
Just hanging out.
I just have the Chicago typewriters
Just shooting shit.
But yeah, no, it's popularized during World War One. And then guys started being able to bring over their weapons from the war, and then they started getting sold on the black market, and then gangsters got them, and then they modded them to be able to hold like hundreds of rounds and be able to shoot a bunch. And so the Tommy gun was a popular gangster weapon during the time, and these men were shot with these things.
So these were war weapons, or they were also readily available to buy?
It started off as war weapons, and then they got basically bootlegged into the market.
Right.
So this would have
Sounds familiar.
So witnesses saw that they saw a couple of street clothes men, actually street clothes being at the time the style of dress that the gangsters would like to wear, very fine clothes, very like suited, nice shoes, hat, vest, the whole thing, and then also with 2 uniformed police officers. The victims included 5 members of Al Capone's gang.
Ooh.
George Bugs Moran,
Speed Buggy.
Albert Kachelik, Adam Heyer, Albert Weinshank, Frank Gusenberg.
Weinshank, that's a good one.
I like that one.
Frank Gusenberg and
Gusenberg.
Peter Gusenberg. Not Peter Gutenberg.
The Gusenbergs.
The Gusenberg brothers.
So there's cousins?
They didn't have any nicknames? Come on.
The Gusenberg
Gusenbergs enough.
What was one goose and one bird?
The Gander.
They were
the
called
Gander
the
brothers. Those are the members of Al Capone, like confirmed members of Al Capone's gang. 2 other men were shot: Reinhard Schwimmer, a former optician turned gambler, and John May, an occasional mechanic for the Moran gang.
Occasional mechanic. All mechanics occasional? Like, otherwise you just be mechanic all day.
I mean, shit, like, that gotta work. Gotta fix up those banana carts.
Someone's got to.
40 hours is 40 hours.
There's a lot of them, evidently.
So, actually, not all of the men died. Frank Gusenberg of the Gander brothers actually was still alive. He got taken to the hospital. They were able to stabilize him. And then he was then questioned by police and asked, who shot him? No one. No one shot me.
Oh, good.
Was his response.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man died 3 hours later.
Jesus.
No snitching. No gods, no kings, no snitching.
That's your nickname here on the fort.
Gusenbergs are like true.
Real ass motherfuckers. The Morans, apparently were part of the Northside gang. The Northsiders were in contention with another part of the Capone organization to control a certain amount of the liquor distribution in the area.
So this was a little bit past Prohibition, right? Or is this
1929? I don't know. What was the
right
when
in
did that
the
happen?
thick of the weeds of things? Hold on.
The years of Prohibition were from
you don't have to
1920.
say it like that, man, Daddy. Jesus Christ.
The years of Prohibition were 1920 and 1933, dickface.
Right. The Moran gang was in contention for control of the liquor distribution in this area.
How do you spell it, too? Moran?
Moran. They actually saw the cops, or the alleged cops, following them out of their parking lot. They actually went into do the classic, oh my god, oh shit, the cops are on me move, and just walked into like a local turned around and walked into like a local coffee shop, saw their buddy walking down the street, beckoned him to say, hey, look, like it looks like the cops are following us, and then they decided they were going to make a move for their car, and that's when they were approached by the uniformed officers and then the additional men. Witnesses outside the garage saw a Cadillac sedan pull to a stop in front of the garage. 4 men emerged and walked inside, 2 of them dressed in police uniform. The 2 fake police officers carried shotguns, entered the rear portion of the garage where they found the members of the Moran gang and collaborators, Reinhard Schwimmer and John May, the mechanic and the
obstetrician,
who was fixing one of the trucks. So the guy was actually working as a mechanic at this point. He was fixing a truck.
Yeah, he's a doctor of fucking shit up.
The fake policeman ordered the men up against the wall, signaled to a pair of men in civilian clothes who had accompanied them, and then 2 of the killers opened fire with Thompson submachine guns, one with a 20-round box magazine, the other with a 50-round drum.
Damn.
Wow, man.
They were through... They continued to shoot the victims even after all 7 had hit the floor. 2 shotgun blasts afterwards had all but obliterated the faces of John May and James Clark.
So that was
a way to put it, dude.
Yeah. Obliterated
faces.
Yeah.
To give the appearance that everything was under control, the men in street clothes came out with their hands up, prodded by 2 uniformed policemen. So they like switched it around. The guys who were the killers came out like they were getting caught for it by the cops.
Oh yeah, so I guess you couldn't prove it.
Or just so it wouldn't raise suspicions, like, oh, they got them.
Inside the garage, the only survivors in the warehouse were John May's dog.
No!
Highball.
No. Why did you put this in here?
Unharmed.
Okay, thank God.
Completely unharmed, unscathed.
Still alive to this day.
Live forever.
And Frank Gusenberg, who was the guy who refused to snitch, even on his killers, which, damn, Frank Gusenberg, hats off. That's
something.
Right.
Damn. Damn Goose.
Insert Top Gun reference here.
So this was one of the time there was a lot of contention about prohibition and about bootlegging, things like that. So this kind of gave the pro-prohibition people kind of a rallying cry, like, look at all this violence that's happening right now. This is because of fucking alcohol. We need to keep it off the streets, etc. And obviously they missed the point there, because the shit wouldn't happen if the shit was like fucking whatever, like cheap to buy at the supermarket. No one's getting shot with a machine gun over it in a parking lot. No, there were no Banana Day massacres or whatever, right? Like, motherfuckers.
Is there a Banana Day? Seems
like there should be.
There should be a Banana Day.
Should happen.
I know there's a
banana
Deo.
pancakes, banana bread.
Deo.
Yeah, and there's the tarantula that lives in the banana.
Ooh.
But do you think
He's black tarantula.
What tarantula lives in a banana?
When the guy's picking the bananas, the highly deadly black tarantula.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Freak me out.
Uncultured bastard.
So police ended up... the investigation boiled down to, basically, they found out that they thought it was a couple of actual Capone's gunmen, John Scalise and Albert Anselmi. Albert Anselmi. As well as Jack McGurn and Frank Rio, who were just guys in his gang. They eventually charged McGurn and Scalise with the massacre.
Did they get charged with massacre? That's, getting charged with murder is one thing, but getting charged with massacre seems like it'd be kind of cool to say in prison. What are you in for? Massacre.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. I gotta look it up. There's probably like a couple of counts of murder. I don't imagine that it was... They're not going to give you that much cred going into prison. Massacre, man. This is kind of cool. When they raided one of the dude's bungalows, they found a large trunk containing a bulletproof vest, $320,000 in bonds in 1929.
That's a bunch of cash.
In 1929.
Damn, yeah.
Flush with cash.
Yeah, that's...
Pills, baby!
Pills, baby!
2 Thompson submachine guns, pistols, 2 shotguns, and thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Jeez.
Damn.
Wow.
So it's like, even if he didn't do it, he was probably up to, no
He was
one
up to
like
doing something.
right. There's no vet or whatever that like just a veterinarian that has like a trunk with a bulletproof vest, $320,000 in bonds, 2 submachine guns, pistols, shotguns, and thousands of rounds of ammo.
Nothing nefarious going on there at all.
Unless you're the
stockpiling cash
coolest
and
goddamn vet of all time.
Yeah.
They were able to identify that the submachine guns matched the rounds that had been expelled or collected from like the crime scene, and were actually used in the massacre. So they ended up getting the right guy basically. And I don't know if it's on this article or the other one I read, but the wall where the dudes got shot they like left the fucking bullet holes.
Yeah, the
in
actual
it.
brick mortar is still shot through.
Well, they
Nice.
tore that down. However, somebody recovered like after like they demolished it, recovered the bricks that actually had the bullet holes in them. And there's like something in like different museums, like some murder museum somewhere, and then some guy actually owns a bunch of them.
Murderbilia.
You're right, exactly. Some guy owns like a bunch of them, and they went for like a bunch of money. And there's some in like an American gangster museum or whatever, where you can see like the actual bullet holes from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
That's
So.
crazy.
Yeah, so Prohibition era Chicago, not necessarily great for bananas.
No, okay.
No.
Well,
And
really.
Chicago typewriters,
or fires.
snazzy ass suits, which never really went out of style, right? You're a dude. What do you wear now? You want to look fancy. What do you wear?
Well,
you look
I
like a
guess they
Chicago
got snazzy.
Prohibition era gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any of that.
You don't
would
have
be
those
really
weird,
good.
those weird like pads they had, like the zoot suits.
Yeah, they were a little big. They
Yeah,
were kind of like
made you look like a triangle.
Yeah.
You and I don't, because we're like
Yeah.
shouldery, but like little dudes.
Shouldery.
Little
I
dudes,
could wreck that.
little dudes will put on the shoulder pads still.